CJ Flyer back with Fire, another NBA 2K24 news reaction video. Today we're going to be breaking down the MyNBA news as we are going to be having quite a few MyNBA videos from NBA 2K24 coming up on the channel once the game comes out. A lot of rebuilds, a lot of different challenges and things. So I'm pretty excited. Now, again, I'm not going to be editing these. I'm just going to give it to you straight. Just, no jump cuts, anything else. My honest real reaction to all of this. First, I just want to say I got nothing against Stacks Montana, but the fact that 2K is having a My Career YouTuber advertise the franchise mode of the game, a mode that I don't believe he plays. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he makes any videos on this mode. And 2K's most popular MyNBA content creators, King of the Fourth Quarter, Click Productions, those guys are some of the most critical, 2K players, or they're the most critical of 2K amongst all of the 2K content creators. And I wouldn't even say they're that critical. I mean, it's pretty honest feedback for the most part. But I just find it funny that they're gonna, they're gonna have a My Career content creator talk read off the script for the MyNBA. But I mean, he did a good job, sharing all the information and whatnot and hyping up the mode. And I'm glad they at least did it justice. They did add a few features to this mode, that is an improvement over last year. I'm not totally upset or anything. I'm a little bit annoyed by a couple things, but we'll get right into it. I'm not going to play this whole video. You guys can go watch it if you want. I'll put a link in the description. But we're going to go through the courtside report here, and then I left a couple comments on this video, actually, some interesting discussion that we can look at real quick. First, the big marketing gimmick, the LeBron era, is added to the MyNBA eras. So last year, they brought in this new eras mode where you could go back and start a franchise from previous years in NBA history. And so you could start in the Kobe era, which started, according to 2K, after he already won a few championships. You could start in the Jordan era. You could start in the Magic and Bird era. I understand why they don't go further back, because the further back in history you go, the less rights you have for the players. I mean, it's already a disservice to the Jordan era that they don't have a Charles Barkley or a Reggie Miller in the game. And obviously, that's not 2K's fault entirely that they're not there. The players didn't, former players didn't want to give their rights. But anyways, okay. So they had the LeBron era, and that is, I believe, the start of the 2010-2011 season is what they've called it. So, they got Miami Heat, LeBron. They got Melo on the Knicks. Durant still on the Thunder. They got Derrick Rose, MVP, right here on the Bulls. So, a lot going on in this picture. And, I mean, you could argue the LeBron era starts before this. You could argue the LeBron era starts when he enters the league, which is when the Kobe era starts in my NBA eras. But my biggest beef with all this, I get it. It's a marketing gimmick. Look, we added the LeBron era. Buy our game so you can start a franchise in the LeBron era. But, they have all of the historical draft classes going back to the 80s, Otherwise, they wouldn't, you start in the Magic Bird era. You could play 40 years of MyNBA, and they would have the players for every single draft class leading up to the modern era. So, my question, why not just allow the users the opportunity to go back to any year? Let's say I wanted to start in the year 2001 instead of 2002. What if I wanted to start in 2007? With the We Believe Warriors instead of starting in 2002, 2003 and having to simulate up to that point. Give us a little bit of flexibility here. You can still call these different years the beginning of these different eras if you want, but you have the ability to program in and we can just choose the year we want to start in. Okay, so I left that comment here on the video. Why do we need specific eras? I just wanted to get some conversation going and see what other people think. Seems like I'm not alone in this. Someone made the comment saying they'd have to make a new roster for each year, but to be honest, they already have the player models and the names and the stats and attributes, everything in the game. Like I said, they have it for all the draft classes. They have all their progressions set and ready to go. So that shouldn't matter. Like it's as simple as just putting the list together and calling the list, and you got your roster for every year. So I don't know. It doesn't need to be available in Play Now, Quick Play. I just want to see it in the franchise mode. That's all I'm asking for. Not a big ask. So some people, just debating back and forth, how hard is it to add something like this? This person mentions here the 80s roster has auto-generated players, which, is, again, it's true, but they allow you already to start in the Magic Bird era, so that, if that hasn't stopped them, then why does it matter? Anyways, here's a new comment I haven't seen yet. If you did all this, that's what I'm saying, like, they can just go into the code and just, like, call to the different years. It shouldn't be that difficult. All right, enough rambling. I'm glad they added the LeBron era. Don't want to make it sound like I'm complaining, because there's many other features in this game that are worth complaining about over this. Another key feature, did I skip over it? I don't think I have. Where are we at? Let's see here. Okay, they're talking about new features. There we go. Automatic aging transformation. Yeah, so this is a pretty big thing, because in last year's game, Kobe would just keep his afro for his whole career, which is pretty unrealistic, right? So now it's automatic. As the players age, their appearance will change. So I'm pretty thrilled about that. Now, it's probably only the star players, if we're being honest. Like, are they really going to have Chris Anderson in there, with his hair changing? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Same with Dennis Rodman. Are they going to give him different colored hair every season? I doubt it. It would be nice. It's probably only going to be the superstar players, but that's better than nothing. So, I understand. Like, this mode doesn't make them all that money. And again, marketing gimmick here. They add this one feature here. They add automatic aging for the players that are most popular among the fan base. It's going to get the job done for them. So, I'm not mad. I just wish they would do more. This is super cool. It's such a small, insignificant feature, but it's cool. The fact that the news feed, instead of it being a social media feed or just not having it for previous eras, they now have like a newspaper. They now have like a early 2000s web page, 90s web page here. Like back in the old school HTML days. Like, this is pretty awesome. I'm cool with this. This is something that should have been a feature from day one for online leagues. Being able to set user permissions for different settings. So, I'm glad they finally added it, but it should have been a feature from day one. So, not going to talk about that. NBA Lite, that is essentially seasons mode from 2K like 10 years ago, as far as I can tell. Remove all of the salary cap, remove all the financials, remove all the logic there, basically it's just playing through a season and that's it. Play through your season is what it seems like. Basically give you as little responsibility as possible, which technically, if you went into the previous MyNBA modes for the past couple years, if you just turned off all the settings, it's pretty similar to this. But I get it. It helps the casual player just be able to pick up and go. They don't care about all of this information here from the new CBA, like what's a mid-level exception? What's a salary cap? I don't know. I just want to play with my basketball team. I'm a Grizzlies fan. I want to play through the season. I'm not a Grizzlies fan, by the way. I'm a Mavericks fan if you've been watching these videos. But, yeah. Okay. So, that's cool. This is good. This is good to get more people into the game, entice them to purchase the game, and even entice people to become NBA fans, become basketball fans. So, I'm a supporter of doing this. even though it's technically not really a new mode or feature. Now, this is another big gripe I have, the collective bargaining agreement. So I'm not like an expert per se in any of this, but I am glad they updated all of the financials, all of the different guidelines and new regulations under the new CBA. However, where is the in-season tournament, excuse me. There's no mention of it in this video. Stacks Montana did not shout it out to the crowd. But yeah, no in-season tournament. And we got someone joking around here. Don't worry, it'll be the new feature of 2K25 that you got to pay for DLC. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll add it next year. I imagine it. The in-season tournament in real life is something that is very hard to schedule as it is, just IRL, that I can imagine, not that it's impossible, but it probably takes a little bit of a time commitment to develop the logic behind setting up an in-season tournament year after year. So, and to be honest, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I'm really interested to see how this is going to turn out for the league in real life, because it's just regular season games with one additional game that, it allows, it's reward money, prize money that the amount that players will get, it's only really worth it for the back half of the bench. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I'm sure that the star players will, help their teammates out that want that extra money. But yeah, it sucks that it's not in here, because it's obviously like a big marketing point for the league going into next season, and for it to not be in the video game, it sucks, and I'm not happy with it, but it is what it is. Overall, I'm glad they didn't just, it's not a copy paste. Well, it's sort of a copy paste. Like, it is pretty much the same mode. I'm glad they went ahead, updated the new financial restrictions and whatnot. I'm glad they went ahead and helped out the folks for the online league so that they can edit permissions accordingly. And then this kind of attention to detail, it's nothing that this probably didn't take them a day to make. But the fact that they went ahead and did it anyways, I'm glad that they did. And I'm glad that they added an additional era. That's more YouTube content. And the best thing about the LeBron era is that's NBA 2K11 right there. I mean, that's 2010, 2011, and NBA 2K11 is my favorite 2K game of all time. It's a lot of people's favorite 2K games. So, pretty cool. All right, that's the video. Let me know in the comments down below what you all think. Again, unedited, unscripted. We're just diving straight in. I'm not going to make a video for every one of these new blog posts or whatever, but we'll be talking about stuff as I believe it's worth talking about. Stay tuned. I'll see you on the next one.